know.
How's your day looking? Busy?
This is the O2C Meet at Work on YouTube. And this
What did you offer this morning?
is Sports Final, brought to you by the O2C Network and YouTube. And here with the details, the headlines, and everything else on a wild Sunday in sports is our man, the Baxman, Steve Baxman. How you doing, everybody? May have an appearance by my cat, Uno. If you can hear her, she's cheering me on. 40 minutes of great sports coverage tonight. And there we go. Anyway, let's get to it. We've got everything today for 40 minutes, and we start as usual right now. Here we go. Babu, babu, boo, boo, babu, boo. All right. By the way, happy 99th birthday, Betty White. Now, 99 Loof balloons. That's right. She is 99. Hooray. So, what do we got for you? We got some scores. And the scores, as always, are sponsored by William Hill Sportsbook. Bet on yourself. All right. Let's get to it. The NFL scoreboard and playoff galore tonight. Galore, yeah. Playoff galore. Let's get you to the scores of Saturday. And that sound you're hearing, well, we'll just give you this. The sound that you're hearing is the sound of silence from Los Angeles as the Packers, as predicted, would beat the Rams 32-18. And here's a shocker. The Ravens, they cry evermore because they're not playing football anymore. They got humbled, if not humiliated, by the Buffalo Bills 17-3. Of course, tomorrow you got the surprisingly upsetting Cleveland Browns going up against the number one Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions. That'll be at 3:05 tomorrow on CBS. And the night tilt, 6:40, that'll be on Fox. It'll be the Battle of the Aged. The Buccaneers and Tom Brady taking on the New Orleans Saints and Hall of Famer Drew Brees. So get ready for that. Once again, 6:40 on Fox. But man, oh man. How about this? Two surprises. The Bills beat the Ravens. So, I mean, can we say it? Maybe we'll have one more shock in the division championships. We just have to wait and see, because we are now 2 games away from getting ready for a nice little trip to Tampa. Wouldn't it be interesting if the Buccaneers beat the Packers and they get to play in the Super Bowl in their home turf? We'll just have to find out for sure what's going to happen. Again, tomorrow's games, Cleveland Browns, Kansas City Chiefs, CBS tomorrow at 3:05. That's followed at 6:05 by the Bucs and the Saints. That is going to be amazing. Okay, we have just scratched the surface of our scores and headlines. Let's scratch more, shall we, and take you to the Hoop du Collage. That's right. College hoop time, folks. College hoop time. And we got some good college hoops tonight. And we're not afraid to say that, but we're just afraid to do it. Okay. And, oh, I mean, that was not bad. Bills in the AFC Championship after a 27-year wait. Maybe their drought will end and they can win the Super Bowl. Well, let's not get too far into this. Okay, we're just waiting for the proverbial word. Hi, sweetheart. Okay. I'm going to let the background play. BD. Okay, let's get to the men. College basketball. Bebop Baruba. Well, what can we say? But wow, my cat is meowing because my cat is in heat. Uno, the mouse assassin, is literally in heat. Anyway, do we have scoreboard? Yes, we do. Let's go to it. We've had some games going and some games not going.
We need to talk.
Shall we
Is everything okay?
cha-cha?
Not really. Can I come in? Sure.
Yes, we shall. Boom.
What's going on? Okay. I don't know how to say
And
this.
the scoreboards we said, sponsored by William Hill Sportsbook. Bet on yourself
High school.
if you want the win.
That's not what we're talking about. Last night after you went to sleep,
All right.
I turned on the TV and stumbled on a
Good.
motion picture you appeared in.
Cool.
You saw
Boom, boom, boom.
Cinnamon's buns. I saw
All right.
Cinnamon's buns. I saw Cinnamon's boobs.
Okay.
Birthmark on the inside of Cinnamon's thigh.
And what can we say? But tomorrow's going to be fun.
The next minute, a
Yeah.
porn star on Cinemax.
Okay, come.
Most of it.
Okay, here we go.
It was 20 years ago.
Let's go for the lone game that continues. 7 minutes, 16 seconds. Gonzaga about to go up 14-0 as they lead St. Mary. Now 64-48. Some final scores for you. Number 2 ranked Baylor over 15th ranked Texas Tech, 68-60. 4th ranked Texas over Kansas State, 82-67. Here's an update, or actually an upset. Do we have the sound effect for the upset? Yes, we should. Upset-y-boo.
All right.
23rd ranked Minnesota defeated 7th ranked Michigan 75-57.
Who loved peanut
Final in overtime, Butler defeated 8th ranked Creighton 70-66 in overtime. 10th ranked Tennessee over Vanderbilt 81-61. 18th ranked Virginia an 85-50 winner over 12th ranked Clemson. And 21st ranked Ohio State defeated 14th ranked Illinois 87-81. 16th ranked Louisville losing to Miami 78-72. 17th ranked Missouri a 68-52 winner over Texas A&M. Games postponed. Iowa State and 6th ranked Kansas. TCU and 13th ranked West Virginia. And Arizona over 22 ranked Oregon. And there you go.
Because she gave you $50,000 to keep it a secret.
There you go. There you go.
And
And
to top it
there
all,
you go.
you gave the family dog type 2 diabetes.
And here we go.
Those diamond earrings I got you for your birthday last year. Let me guess, they're not real. Oh no, they're real. It's just like kind of stolen from my ex-wife.
Here we go.
You know, it really feels good to get all this off my
Let's
chest.
get you some updates now on a couple of stories. And here we go. Deshaun Watson, as we told you, is upset with the Houston Texans organization. Well,
Show up. Do you need power? Or
it's looking more and more likely that a separation could be coming soon between the Texans shipping off star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals, the recent activity in the front office, and then Watson's reported lack of say in the general manager and head coaching searches. The relationship between them and their star quarterback has literally disintegrated. During ESPN's postseason NFL Countdown show on Saturday, Adam Schefter shed some light on just how bad the situation in Houston is, and also reported that Watson has no plans to be with the Texans moving forward. And just to say it boldly and bluntly, he is one unhappy camper and has no plans to be with the Houston Texans anytime soon, if ever. Now, most recently, Texans owner Cal McNair rubbed Watson the wrong way by hiring former New England Patriots executive Nick Caserio as Houston's new general manager and retaining executive vice president of football operations Jack Easterby. Chris Mortensen of ESPN said on Saturday that the situation with Watson and the Texans is in such a bad place. A source told him the only thing that would save this relationship is if the owner fired himself. Sources, Mortensen said this, quote. Sources close to Watson say this is bigger than firing Jack Easterby, the front office executive who McNair said he won't fire. He says, the source, that unless Cal McNair can fire himself, Deshaun Watson is not about to change his mind and that he does not want anything to do with the Texans going forward. Now, he completed 70.2% of his passes this past season. The NFL with 4,823 passing yards, tossed 33 touchdowns, as opposed to just 7 interceptions. Now, despite Houston's struggles as a whole, Watson's performance this past weekend earned him third consecutive Pro Bowl selection. Watson is reportedly prepared to play ultimate hardball with the franchise that drafted him with the number 12 overall pick in the 2017 draft. Folks, this is going to be one hell of a wild off season. Please take note. And that is your Deshaun Watson update. Obviously, there will be more to this. Okay, more NFL news. In fact, literally in NFL news. If you're wondering whatever happened to Lamar Jackson, well, the Baltimore Ravens announced that Lamar Jackson went into the concussion protocol after taking a hit late in the second half of the team's AFC divisional playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. He has now been ruled out for the remainder of the game. Now he's going to be taking the summer off, too. Trent Murphy delivered the hit, which caused the Ravens quarterback to lay on his back for several minutes. Jackson walked off the field under his own power and into a locker room. Tyler Huntley replaced Jackson at quarterback in the fourth quarter and will finish the game for Baltimore. Jackson had a third quarter he liked to forget, though, throwing a 101-yard interception return to Taron Johnson on the Ravens' prior possession that gave Buffalo a commanding 17-3 lead. Johnson tied George Teague for longest interception return in NFL playoff history. The interception was Jackson's first in a red zone in his career, regular and postseason. Jackson finished the game 14 of 24 for 162 yards for an interception and 61.5 passer rating. He also had 9 carries for 34 yards. There you go.
Don't say what. Lindsay and I split up. Oh no, what happened?
And
I made the mistake of
let's go to the NBA.
It is a good policy.
And here we go.
You know, another good policy?
Um,
Don't pollute.
For the Indiana Pacers, not good news. The blockbuster 14 trade between the Houston Rockets, Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers, and Cleveland Cavaliers was finalized on Saturday, but not before the Pacers received an additional second-round pick and cash considerations due to an issue that was discovered during Karis LeVert's physical. At first, it was unclear exactly what that meant, but now LeVert will be out indefinitely after a small mass was discovered on his kidney. The Pacers announced the news and said LeVert will, quote, undergo further medical tests and more details will follow as needed. Pacers president Kevin Pritchard said, quote, "We acquired Karras because of who he is as a young man first and foremost. His basketball skills and on-court play speak for itself, and we know he has a great career ahead of him." LeVert also made a statement following the announcement. Quote, "On behalf of my family and myself, we want to thank the Indiana Pacers for their support and guidance. We are grateful for their extreme thoroughness during the physical process, and I am looking forward to joining the team and being part of this great organization as soon as possible." End quote. Now, at this point, it's too early to have any sort of idea about when LeVert will be back on the court, but that's far from anyone's main priority right now. This isn't just an injury, it's something that could have a major impact on LeVert's overall health moving forward. Hopefully, he'll get a good prognosis and be able to recover soon. Now, for their part in the 14 trade, which was highlighted by James Harden's move to the Nets, the Pacers sent Victor Oladipo to the Rockets and got LeVert from the Nets and a second-round pick from the Rockets. The Pacers are 8-4 this season, which is a half game back of first place in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
Boom. All right, let's
What's going on?
let's
Party to cheer you up.
do this and do this with pride.
Say hello to the Malibu College beach volleyball team.
In NFL, before we go to the NBA and then the NHL. Here we go. The Eagles Super Bowl winning coach Doug Peterson is very much
I'm still hurting over Lindsay.
unlikely to coach in the NFL in 2021. In any capacity at this point, league sources say. Several teams are interested in Peterson for offensive coordinator positions. The timing, however, just not exactly right. He was let go from the Eagles a week after the season ended, with most teams already fairly deep in their head coach searches. And it's quite possible that, pending the results of this weekend's playoff games, the Eagles' vacancy is the only one remaining by Tuesday. Now, most other teams are fairly locked in the coach. Oh, I've already read that part. No, I didn't. Most other teams fairly locked in are their coaches. It's not uncommon for successful coaches to take a year off before launching back into the head coaching hiring cycle the following year. Peterson had been contacted by several teams, including one that did have head coaching interests, but at this point he has no interviews scheduled. Teams have reached out about other roles as well, but getting the right fit with the right staff would be difficult, and it would be surprising if a coordinator role that suited him came along. The Eagles are continuing to speak to candidates for their opening this weekend, with Rams defensive coordinator Brandon Staley and Buccaneers defensive coordinator Todd Bowles among those who have interested them, or words to that effect. The team has spoken with Patriots defensive coordinator Josh McDaniels and requested an interview with Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Philadelphia is prepared to take its time and consider a wide swath of candidates despite getting a bit of a late start. So there we go. All righty. All right, let's go from headlines to scores. And let's go to scores with, I think we got the NBA. Yes, let us do the NBA. It's amazing how we think. We're about 5 minutes away from midnight, which means we're almost done with the show. Aren't you glad we're here? Okay, let's go to tonight's NBA scoreboard. We'll do more headlines, see what's up on awful announcing, and then wrap it up with the NHL, and if that's not enough, we've got scoreboard and even international scoreboard. So it's going to be fun and exciting. Let's go to the NBA, guys, right now, as we can do. And as we go to that fascinating scoreboard, which is right there before our very eyeballs, So let's go to it. 7:57 left to play in the whole game. It is Portland Trailblazers over the Atlanta Hawks, 91-90. Final scores, we got them. You want them, we'll give them to you. San Antonio Spurs defeated the Houston Rockets 103-91. Brooklyn Nets beat up on the Orlando Magic 121-115. The Toronto Raptors over the Charlotte Hornets 116-113. Memphis Grizzlies beat the 76ers 106-104. Pistons embarrassed the Heat 120-100. Pacers and Suns were postponed due to COVID. So there you go. There's the NBA scoreboard. And right now, let's give you the world of the media. It's time to find out what the top stories are in awful announcing.
What you'll do is claim a tuition tax credit.
So let's go to it. And here we go. Now, of course, the Houston Texans are indeed in a mess, and are a mess of an NFL franchise. They're so much in a mess that the Lions look good. And that joke looked real bad. Let's try that again. The Houston Texans are in so much of a mess, they make the Detroit Lions look good. Thank you. And that doesn't seem to be in dispute. However, as the team attempts, likely in vain, to convince star quarterback Deshaun Watson to remain in Houston, it appears that if you're reporting about the dysfunction, well, let's give you that. Report. If you're reporting on the dysfunction of the Houston Texans, well, you sort of might get an angry retort from Executive Vice President of Football Operations, Jack Easterby. Per Sports Illustrated, Jenny Varentis, Easterby has told multiple people that he wants to sue the media organization over defamation. Though no lawsuit has yet been filed, Easterby is also reportedly telling others inside and outside the organization that the Kraft family, which owns the New England Patriots, is pushing for all the negative press surrounding him and the Texans, despite the fact that the Krafts have no financial stake in SI.com or its owners, Maven. Wow. Now, this comes as part of a larger story published Saturday on SI.com outlining a culture of dysfunction and disinformation within the Texans, with a focus on the way Easterby reportedly communicates with Watson, J.J. Watts, and other Houston players, coupled with Easterby's reported integration of religious moments that made others uncomfortable, and the selection of Nick Caserio as team's new GM over POC candidates whom Watson had expressed excitement about. The article, and many others like it, paint a picture of an organization unwilling to look in the mirror at where the problems truly lay, while star players are shuffled out of town with regularity. Meanwhile, Watson just seems to have made it abundantly clear that just one season after signing a 4-year, $156 million extension, he's currently interested in moving on and getting away from the franchise. Watson's tweet is in reference to the way his mindset was described following the team's trading of star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. So strong as the tide turned against Easterby, even Texans legend Andre Johnson tweeted out full support for Watson, while also throwing serious shade at the franchise and their executive vice president. All this drama led many to believe that Easterby would be fired by team chairman Cal McNair in order to appease Watson. However, that ain't gonna happen. The McNairs have made it clear that Easterby isn't going anywhere, but they still think he can keep his star quarterback in the fold. Doubt severely, but hey, stranger things have happened. This is the NFL after all.
That's a very healthy.
And couple that with couple the Watson saga with also more football, more Texans, including J.J. Watt, getting a little strained relationships. And that was spurious legal threats and media coverage and outlandish rumor mongering about rival franchises and their financial connections. This is going to get so ugly, you may want to wear a hazmat suit.
Sure. You need to find a soulmate that you practically trip over him everywhere you turn. Oh, look, a soulmate. Oh, jeepers, there's another soulmate.
Here we go.
Everywhere I look, it's another soulmate. No, it's a great day. It's just another fabulous day in the life.
All right. Trey Wingo will call golf for PGA Tour Live, beginning with the Farmers Insurance Open, January 28th. We keep going. David Faraday is going to be without one of his favorite things to do, and that's talk to people. His talk show Faraday will no longer be a part of the Golf Channel lineup. He'll still be part of NBC and Golf Channel's tournament coverage, but his talk show is no more. Ted Leitner has retired after 41 years with the San Diego Padres broadcast crew. 41 years. That ain't bad. Speaking of which, speaking of Fare Thee Wells, longtime St. Louis Cardinal broadcaster Mike Shannon has also announced his retirement after more than 60 years with the Cardinals organization. Shanahan will call it a career after this season. And, well, this is something unusual, but broadcaster Casey Stern has filed a discrimination complaint against Warner Media and Turner Sports for being removed from his anchoring roles for TBS's Major League Baseball postseason coverage and NBA TV. Last October, Stern revealed to New York Post Andrew Marchand that his 3 children, ages 6, 5, and 3, were allegedly being abused by his ex-wife and her boyfriend. Both were charged with felony counts of child cruelty. Concern over his children's welfare, in addition to trying to get law enforcement and courts to intervene while spending significant money on forensic evaluators, doctors, guardians, lawyers, and therapists, prevented Stern from traveling to host coverage of events like Kobe Bryant's death and Basketball Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, and call play-by-play for U.S. national basketball games. This past October, Ernie Johnson replaced Stern as studio host for TBS's pre- and post-game shows during the MLB postseason. With that news, reports of Stern's difficulties and legal battles with his ex-wife and her boyfriend over child abuse came to light. Stern is still under contract with Turner until August of this year, but according to the complaint, the company will not be using him on the air and will hold him to his contract, preventing him from seeking TV work elsewhere. He still hosts Inside Pitch on SiriusXM's MLB Network Radio. The complaint also alleges several instances in which Stern said Turner executives showed little sympathy for his circumstances and concern over his children, diminishing them as making excuses for not working. And following going public with his children's alleged abuse and his ordeal and addressing their plight, Stern announced that he's launched a foundation called Operation Exhale, that's EXHALE, with the purpose of raising both awareness and money to assist families in desperate need of help protecting their children from the horrors of child abuse. In addition to accepting donations through its website, Operation Exhale is also planning 24-hour telethons, 5K runs, and charity softball game and auction involving former and current MLB players. Quote, the complaint alleges, quote, Mr. Stern was a rising star within the company who had leapfrogged his way up the depth charts and earned increasingly important assignments, end quote. All that stopped and his career progression reversed when the company learned about his family troubles and began discriminating against Mr. Stern because he is a man. Indeed, the company believes that as a man, Mr. Stern should be obligated to subjugate his family and always put work first. What a bunch of idiots. It's family first and always. But then again, this is not the Turner Media that we all envision with one Ted Turner at the helm. And also, after more than a decade, Jordy Culotta is out at 104.5 ESPN in Baton Rouge. He's been at the station for since 2010. Culotta had been co-hosting the morning show off the bench with T-Bob Hibber. With that show also simulcast on the ESPN radio stations in New Orleans and Alexandria. So good luck and God bless.
She's great.
One of the best.
She did everything for
in
me.
that
I was so
area.
very safe with her.
And that's a quick report from the fun and excitement of awful announcing.
What are we saying here?
Now, let's get over to the international section. Give you some soccer, some football. Let's go to it, kids. As we get going with what we have. All right, kids. Big slate. How big? We're going for it. In the Premier League, West Bromwich Albion defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-2. Brighton and Hove Albion defeated Leeds United 1-0. West Ham United defeated Burnley 1-0. Chelsea defeated Fulham 1-0. Leicester City defeated Southampton 2-1. In Scottish Premiership action, Celtic and Livingston went down in flames to a goose egg tie. So too did Hamilton Academical and Dundee United. They too ended in a goose egg tie. Hibernian defeated Kilmarnock 2-0. Ross County 4-1 winners over Aberdeen. St. Johnstone 1-0 winner over St. Mirren. In Championship soccer, it was Birmingham City over Middlesbrough 1-0. Blackburn Rovers and Stoke City tied at 1. Oh, they're having a party in Luton Town. They defeated Bournemouth 1-0. Bristol City a 2-0 winner over Preston North End. Norwich City a 2-1 winner over Cardiff City. Coventry City and Sheffield Wednesday postponed. Rotherham United over Derby County 1-0. Nottingham Forest a 3-1 winner over Millwall. Queen's Park Rangers and Wycombe Wanderers postponed. Watford over Huddersfield Town 2-0. Swansea City over Barnsley 2-0. In League One action, Sunderland a 3-0 winner over Wimbledon. Gillingham a 1-0 winner over Accrington Stanley. Charlton Athletic over Bristol Rovers 1-0. Ipswich Town over Burton Albion 1-0. Portsmouth over Fleetwood Town 1-0. Hull City and Blackpool tied at 1. Northampton Town Oxford United. They were postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. Ferrisborough United 3-0 winner over Milton Keynes Dons. Plymouth Argyle and Crewe Alexandra ended in a 1-1 tie. Rochdale over Wigan Athletic in a 3-3 tie. Shrewsbury Town and Lincoln City postponed. Doncaster Rovers over Swindon Town 2-1. In League Two action, Barrow over Scunthorpe United 1-0. Bolton Wanderers and Cheltenham Town tied at 1. Bradford City over Crawley Town postponed due to weather. Colchester United and Cambridge United ended in a 1-1 tie, as did Forest Green Rovers and Port Vale. Grimsby Town and Southend United ended in a scoreless tie. Leyton Orient over Morecambe, they were wise. 2-0. Mansfield Town and Carlisle United postponed. Newport County and Salford City tied at goose egg, so too Stevenage and Tranmere Rovers. Walsall and Oldham Athletic ended in a 1-1 tie. In the National League of Football, Maidenhead United and Yeovil Town postponed. Wrexham beat Dover Athletic 3-1. In National League North football action, Fylde and Blythe Spartans postponed. Telford United and Cruzon Ashton tied at 1. Alfred Town, Boston United, Alfred Town, Hereford, Brackley Town, Bradford Park Avenue, and Chester all postponed due to either COVID or, in the case of Bradford Park Avenue in Chester, a frozen pitch. Charlie defeated Farsley Celtic 3-2. Darlington and Chorley were postponed due to other reasons. Kidminster Harriers and Spenamore Town also postponed. Gateshead over Geesley 1-0 National League South action. Bath City and St. Albans tied. Bath City and St. Albans City postponed. As too did Hemel Hempstead Town and Concord Rangers. Maidenstone United and Chippenham Town were also postponed, as was Wellington, as well as Welling United and Tonbridge Angels. Slowtown 3, Braintree Town 2, Eastbourne Borough over Havant and Waterlooville 2-1. Hampton Richmond over Ebbsfleet United 2-1. Dartford and Hungerford Town tied at 1. Billercray Town defeated Dulwich Hamlet 2-0. The FA Trophy second round action. Peterborough Sports 1-0 winner over Bath City. Hornchurch and Kingland Town ended in 1-1 tie. They did win 3-0, but Hornchurch won 3-0 on penalties. Maidstone United over Dorking Wanderers 2-1. Oxford City over Herringley Borough 4-2. Notts County 2, Stockport County 1. Sutton United over Dagenham and Redbridge 3-1. Darlington over Weymouth 1-0. Scottish Championship is going to be a goodie. Here we go. Heart of Midlothian over Alloa Athletic 3-1. Dundee and Ayr United postponed due to waterlogged pitch. Queen of the South and Arbroath tied at 2. Wraith Rovers and Inverness Caledonia Thistle were also postponed. Scottish League 1, Scottish League 2, Highland League, Lowland League, Cymru Premier, and the Irish Premier, all games postponed. In Spanish Copa del Rey, Almere 5, Alves 0. Real Valladolid 4-1 win over Peña Deportiva. Girona over Cadiz 2-0. Fuenlabrada over Levante tied at 1. Levante won 4-2 on penalties. Sevilla over Leganés 1-0. Rayo Vallecano over Elche 2-0. In Das German Bundesliga, Köln and Hertha Berlin tied at 0. Borussia Dortmund over tied with Mainz 1-0. Werder Bremen 2-0 winners over Augsburg. 1899 Hoffenheim and Arminia Bielefeld ended in a 1-1 tie. Wolfsburg and Leipzig, and in 2-2 tie. Stuttgart and Borussia Mönchengladbach also ended in 2-2 tie. Italian cities Bologna over Hellas Verona 1-0. Torino and Pisa tied at 0. Sampdoria over Udinese 2-1. French League, Nimes over Marseille 2-1. Paris Saint-Germain over Angers 1-0. The Australian A-League, Sydney FC and Western Sydney Wanderers tied at 1. Melbourne City and over Western United 2-1. Belgian First Division A, Oostende beat Kortrijk 2-1. Royal Excel Moskroen defeated Genk 2-0. Zulte Waregem over Waasland Beveren 5-1. Michelin over Sporting de Charleroi 1-0. In Brazil, Cities A, Palmeiras and Grêmio tied at 1. Fluminense over Sport 1-0. Dutch action. Vitesse 4, Emmen 1. Eindhoven 5, Sparta Rotterdam 3, Ulrich over Heracles Almelo 2-0, Fortuna Sittard 2, Zwolle 0, Alkmaar 2, Den Haag 1, and in the Greek Super League, wow, this is going to be wild. Greek Super League, Asteras Tripolis 2, Paneculus 0. Apollon Spiritus 1, Larissa 0. Portuguese action, Pacos de Ferreira 2-0 winner over Sporting Braga. Tondela over Boa Vista 3-1. Turkish Super League, Godstep 3, Konaspor 2.
My father wanted a girl.
Gaziantep 2, Kirsipur 1, Istanbul Bakir and Silverspor tied at 1, and Telespor and Trabzonspor tied at 1 as well. Folks, that was wild. Okay, hi to all on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Minds, Gab, and TikTok. Now, let's go to hand in hand to.
My apologies. I should have known by looking at him.
Oops. She got that.
Don't want to buy our drinks?
Let's go to scoreboard.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're living in the scoreboard town. And we've already done soccer. So let's go with basketball and a little baseball action. They had to have a little baseball action, don't you think? Okay. Wow. We got about 4 minutes remaining on our showgram here. So let's make it good. Let's make it fast. Let's make it count. Okay, we have done soccer. Let's go to basketball. Espanol. Basket Zaragoza, an 105-85 winner over Fuenlabrada. Manresa, 90-83 winner over Unicaja. Tenerife, 108-87 winner over Gran Canaria. Gipuzkoa over Juventud Badalona, 94-90. In Swedish hockey, Skelfte, a 5-4 winner over Brynäs. Rogel over HV 71-5-1. Linkopings, a 4-2 winner over Oskarshamn. Djurgårdens over Örebro 6-4. Frölunda over Farstad 3-1, and Växjö over Leksands 2-1. In Finland, Cal Poly over Helsinki 5-3. Hämeenlinna over Ilves 5-4 in overtime, and Pelicans over Jutgrit 6-3. And friends, I gotta say it, because it's true. We're done.
Talk to your doctor about the
We are done, and done. We will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow night, midnight Eastern. After, of course, the 2 speaker shows we do. Last Call Cafe at 11. WrestleMania Hut 11:30. Then we come on right here on YouTube at midnight Eastern with a full Sunday slate of great sports action. But for now, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. For all assembled here at the old Ranchero, it's time to say goodnight, so we're going to say goodnight. You have a great rest of your sports weekend. I'm going to write this down. You have a great rest of your sports weekend. We'll see you Sunday. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports and YouTube. See you tomorrow. Till then, blessings.
It's not perfect, but it's the next best thing.